I think we're live. We had tech support problems. Appropriate for our tech support guys, although not your purview to come in and help fix it. So, okay, guys. So, are we recording, Kyle? Just make sure. Yeah. Okay. So, since you guys are here, why don't you tell me a little bit who you are and what you do and how long you've been at TechSmith? So, Robert, you want to go first?
Sure. Well, my name's Robert Risdon. I've been in tech support for about 2.5 years now. Do a little bit of everything. I'm kind of a jack of all trades. Handle all of our chat support, email support, phone support. I do backup with social media support. So a little bit of everything.
Okay, and Parker?
Yeah, Parker Hotchkiss. I've been here, it'll be 4 years in March, just right around the corner here. I started in our customer service team, doing a lot of order processing and getting customers their keys and installs. But I've been on the support team for 2.5 years.
Seems about right.
And I'm a senior support agent, so I'm doing a lot of email support and working with our developers to triage issues that are coming in and work with some of the harder to solve cases and go back and forth with customers to get those addressed.
So, okay, so unfortunately every software has problems, right? But for TechSmith, what are the kind of, I don't want to go into common problems, but is it lots of hard problems? Is it lots of easy problems? Like what kind of the ratio of hard to easy technical support that you're providing, and I know you guys do a lot of like kind of almost pseudo training, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the channel that the information is coming to us or the request is coming to us. Over the phone, I'd say maybe 60% or so of it is training, how to use a feature, this new way of this new workflow is available, and here's how to go about doing that. And then the 40% is still, it's unfortunately crashing or this new update isn't installing for me. I'd probably swap those for written cases. Maybe 60% is the more involved case, but there is still some training in there.
So I know I actually worked with these guys, used to work in the tech support department with them. We pride ourselves on getting back to people. Like what's the typical, because I think most people I have this expectation, I send a tech support request to anybody, it's 72 hours or more before I hear back. How quick do we tend to be? Like what's your guys' response time typically on an average case? I mean, it's not always true because loads go up and down, but on average, what would you say?
I'd say we get about a 1 business day, within 1 business day. So 24 hours is probably the maximum that we've seen. Naturally, with the flow, it can go up or down. At least that's through the written cases. Through chat, it's a little bit more immediate, but for the most part, it's about 1 business day.
What about phone? Like if someone calls in, how long? 20, 30 minutes? Wait.
Way less than that. Usually someone available right away. Every now and then, 5 to 10 minutes if there's a lot of load. A lot of people calling in over lunch or from the West Coast calling in all at the same time. But generally, within a couple minutes, we'll get one of us on the phone.
That's pretty fantastic because I think we're a small company. How many guys on the team?
There's 11 of us, I think, in total, including our manager right now. One of them is dedicated.
And he doesn't count, right? Nick,
yeah.
Nick doesn't.
He's not answering cases, so not helping the flow. We have at least one person dedicated to just social. So our Get Satisfaction, Facebook, Twitter, requests coming in that way. A couple people like myself are just doing email support. We'll jump into phones if we need to or if someone's calling for us specifically. But then probably 5 or 6 guys are on or near a phone at all times and ready to take those calls. And that's from 8 a.m. in the morning Eastern time to 7 p.m. Eastern time.
So as you guys, you're dealing with a lot of the public, and obviously we all have tech support problems. We just had tech support problems here. So is there a tip or advice you could give to our users or people that are using TechSmith software that would be helpful if they're going through the process of trying to figure out something's gone wrong before they contact you? Anything that they should be thinking about doing or trying to do before they reach out and try to get a hold of us?
So we do have our extensive tutorials available just on our website at TechSmith.com. Our user assistance team has been fantastic at getting material out there for existing features and for brand new features when we roll out an update. And if it's a feature and how to use a feature, that would be where I would suggest starting with. In the Camtasia software, we've even started including little training videos that when you first open the software, we have a timeline of a video that we've edited and put together and ask you to do some of those features to try to get in the habit of how those are done. And that's a great tool. When it comes to things maybe not working as you expect them to, crashing or errors, our support website, which I think you just go to support.techsmith.com, is the quickest way to get there. That's all the articles that Robert and I and the rest of our team are writing for cases that we're seeing come to us a lot. You're getting the specific error message on install. We may very well have an article about that already, which you can look at, and it may have an answer for you right away.
So check the tutorials, check the help site, see if you can self-solve first.
Yep.
Any other tips, Robert?
Those would definitely be the first place to start. I tend to run into a lot of people that will literally sit there with an issue for 3 and 4 days, just kind of banging their head against a wall. At that point, give us a call, send in an email, connect to our chat support. That way it lessens the stressful burden on you and lets us help you quicker.
So don't wait to the last minute.
Definitely.
Good advice. Okay, so we hope that no one ever has to contact us because things are working smoothly. When they do, though, I know I've seen it. Like I've gotten emails from people like, it's not working, and I'm sure you guys get some of those. So what should people be doing to help make sure you guys can be successful in helping them? Because our goal is to really help as fast as possible, get it resolved, help them to be successful. So what should they be sending in? What should they be prepared with when they call? I guess what couple things should they do?
The big one is just trying to be as descriptive as possible of what the error is. If it has an error message, just let us know what it is, and we can come back real quick with a potential answer or a fix for it. There's a number of different diagnostic tools that you can actually pull, or diagnostic files that you can pull from a computer if you're submitting a written case, that we always like to have to help see what's going on in the background. And those are probably some of the bigger ones.
Yeah, just information about what operating system you're on. If you have that information available, we can obviously help you get that information if that's not a process you're used to. What version of the software you're using, especially if it's an older version. Sometimes we'll get a Camtasia case that calls in and they're still on version 5, which we'll still help you out, but version 8's our current one, so we may not be synced up right from the get-go there. And as Robert was saying, be descriptive. If you're clicking a specific button and every time it crashes, letting us know what that button is, or the wording of an error message, the exact wording can go a long way for us.
Very good. We're gonna wrap things up here, but I do have another question.
Yeah.
So do you have to have a beard to be in tech support?
It's funny you actually mentioned that as we were coming over today.
It's just a thing.
Yeah.
There's a handful of us, and it's just kind of a thing.
It's cold outside.
That is.
Walk across the street to get here.
Yeah, I guess for the viewers who might not know, we actually have 5 buildings. We are in the marketing building in our studio right now, but we have the tech support team. I don't know, it wasn't on purpose, but you're outcast across the street.
Yep.
But you're actually closer to the main conference room where there's lunch.
That's true.
That's very true.
When we have lunch there.
It's a warm walkway to get here, too.
Been walking through the main building.
Absolutely. Well, Robert and Parker, thank you for stopping by and talking with us a little bit. If you guys have questions, obviously if it's a tech support question, you can go to support.techsmith.com. You can put in an email. You can get our phone number from there. You can also send in a chat. You might end up chatting, good chance to chat with Robert himself.
Yep.
We'd love to hear what questions you have for these guys, but this concludes video number 6, I think. It's going to be hard to keep track throughout the course of this, but thanks guys again for coming in. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
They're going to hang out with us for a couple more minutes, and we'll be right back.